Hey everybody, it's Heidi, and I'm here to talk about your practice and how you can kind of develop your practice. It's honestly, this is a bit of a ritual that I made for you, so that you can, develop your practice, get into, yeah, just a little bit of ritual work. So the first thing that we're gonna do is open space. And I'm just going to go through the steps. They'll also be in the video notes and also in your workbook, but you're just going to open space, then you're going to invoke. So you're going to invoke whatever you want to work with, your allies, your spirit guides, your well ancestors, etc. You want to get your journal ready, get some water, light a candle, make yourself a vibe. So maybe you should even do that before you open space. Just get your journal ready, get some water. You want to light a candle. And the reason you get water is because water is super absorptive. It's like it just absorbs whatever energy. And so you want to, at the very end of your ritual, you're gonna drink your water. And also will add in all the energies you absorbed from your ceremony. And that happens at the end. So you want to get your journal ready, get some water, light a candle, open space, invoke, and your allies, your spirit guides, your well ancestors. And then we're just going to talk a little bit about your personal witchy practice. So your personal witchy practice is whatever you make of it, and I suggest making a plan for yourself. And so this is what you're going to journal about, setting some goals about how often you want to be opening and closing space. Do you feel drawn to do that every day? How do you feel about working with the moon? Do you want to do that every new and full moon? And you want to write down any other little witchy things you want to do for yourself. And just like, don't worry about doing all of it. Your practice is something that grows over time. So you really want to be conscious of the fact that like you're not overwhelming yourself. You're just gonna write out like what do you kind of see yourself doing? Like now that you've got some time. So your ritual is this meditative responsive about what does your practice look like? And then we're gonna do some time travel. So basic time travel. And yeah, this is stuff you learn about more in the advanced classes. But just basic ritual work, just journal in your journal, write in your journal. Like what do you see yourself integrating from this course? Like how often do you want to open and close space? Do you feel drawn to work with the moon? Do you want to open space and then work with the moon like I suggested? Like any other little witchy things that maybe I've suggested that you want to deal with, like making elemental shrines or direction shrines, or what do you want to do? Do you want to do the heaven and earth breath? Like what do you feel drawn to do? And then you also want to write down all of the little witchy things that you're already doing. So, like, yeah, I outlined some things to really strengthen a practice and get you started. But there's probably lots of stuff that you're already doing that you're kind of like, I can see that it's actually part of my witchy practice. And you're just going to journal those things too. So, like, what are the new things you're adding to your toolkit? And then what are the things you've already been doing that are witchy that you're kind of like, I want to keep on doing them, but maybe I want to tweak them. Maybe maybe I just want to tweak them to make sure I'm opening and closing space before I do them, or maybe I'm integrating it into some of the new things that I've learned. So that's sort of the present. We're dealing with what are you in the present and a little bit, but it's kind of immediate future. What are you going to be integrating like right now into your life? What is your practice going to be like right now? And don't worry about doing all the things. Like you can just integrate things slowly. Like I said, you have a lifetime access to this course. So like you don't have to like you can just integrate one thing and then do the course again in a year and be like, oh no, I'm ready to integrate the other thing. Like do it what works for you, right? So that's your present. Now you're gonna turn your page over and you're gonna in your journal, and you're gonna write out all your goals. So you're gonna do a little bit of dream weaving. So you're gonna write your goals for where you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. So if you're 47, like me, maybe you're not going to be alive at 97, but I mean, a lot of you that are taking this class are in your 20s or 30s. So you're probably still alive in 50 years. You want to just write out what you want to do 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, maybe one for 2 or 3 years if you want. But you want to think about your life as a witch and how your life is long and you can develop your practice over the years. So you can write out like maybe you're like in 5 years I want to do the psychic baby, divination baby, healing baby. In 10 years I want to do the tarot, I want to do speed tarot and tarot and astro 1 to 4. You know, in 20 years I want to do the advanced psychic development 1 to 4 course. You can just in 50 years, I want to be teaching these courses to other young witches. Like, I'm just spitballing here, but like, feel free to just dream big. I mean, the goal is not that you're accurate in your timeline magic of 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. It's all about like just giving yourself a direction that you want to head in. Because going in those directions is going to really allow you to explore those areas. And also, if you're like, oh, actually, I went down my path a bit and I realized actually this path isn't for me. No problem. You have free will. You can change the your timeline. You can change your timeline. You're like, oh, this isn't for me. I don't want to do this. You can change your timeline. You can change your goals. But you want to bring as much consciousness to your timeline so you can start getting feedback from it and getting clarity on how you want to be living your life. So you can write out some of the goals of courses you want to take or when, or even like things you want to learn at a certain time or by certain points in your life. So maybe like the 5 years, 10 years like doesn't work for you, but you can kind of be like, I want to kind of know certain things in the next chunks of my life. Like you can even uh break it down to like maiden mother crone or like young adulthood, fertility years, and elder. Like it doesn't have to be gendered necessarily, but just make, do some sort of future visioning. And the point is that I want you to think about yourself. Okay, so that's the next chunk. And then the last chunk, or part of the last chunk, is you want to, now that you kind of have these goals from 1 year to like 50 years, or from you until crone you or old you want to just, this is where it gets kind of more of a witchy vibe, is that you want to feel into the future you. You want to really connect with that version of you that's 50 years into the future, 50, 60 years into the future. And just like feel that old crone. And you want to feel all of that witchy energy that they have grown, cultivated, and how they hold the energy in a good, wise, wholesome way. You can feel like they've got their psychic skills are on lock. They are not being bullied by entities. They are clean and sovereign and in control. Like, see and feel how, like, the future you has really taken the time to cultivate themselves. And they are just like rock solid. And you want to imagine a cord going from future you all the way back to present you, connecting you at your heart. So make sure that cord is really, really connected in your heart, going from future you all the way to present you. Now you want to imagine the future you pulling the present version of you forward into your practice in a good way. So oftentimes we think about our past kind of moving us forward or kicking us forward, but there's also like time goes in all directions. Some future you is pulling you forward. So think about future you, the one that's in 50 years, the one that's on your highest timeline and has spent their years really wisely cultivating themselves, and they're just pulling you forward into your practice, into your witchy practice in a good and grounded way. You know, really feel that connection and feel them pulling you forward. And something you can do every day if you want to practice opening space every day is you can connect with that future you. And you always want to say the future you that's on the highest timeline. Connect with that and just let them pull you forward. And in this way, you really basically you'll avoid making dumb mistakes because future you on your highest timeline is really wants to help you get there faster. So it's a great way of getting access to some of that wisdom. It's not that you can bypass the process, but you'll get there with a lot less confusion. Just allow future you on the highest timeline to really pull you forward. And you want to journal a little bit more, write down any sensations you feel about what is future you, what is your highest timeline, and really feel into that energy, giving it as much description as you can, like flesh it out, give it form. And then when you're done, just gently find a close for your ritual, like a stopping space that you feel like you've connected with and you've journaled everything that you need to. And then you want to just ground out, feel your energy settling, and you want to drink your water and all the energies that the water absorbed from the ceremony. Now you want to devoke whatever you invoke to work with, your well ancestors, your spirit guides, your allies. You can say, go if you must, stay if you want, and then close space. And that is your ritual about really looking into what your practice is. What does your witchy practice look like? What does your future look like? What does your path look like? Just feel into that. And at the very end, just say thank you to yourself for doing that. Feel that ritual just closing up and going into that space between all spaces, just like hanging out there. And I find this ritual really helpful to do every couple of years. You don't always have to journal about it. It's nice to journal it the first time around, but I mean, it's always nice to journal. Like, it's nice I wish I would journal after each ritual because you always learn things in each ritual and have feedbacks. And that's really what you want to write down in your book of shadows because then you can track it. You can track your progress. I know that my future me has always been quite the same. Where I want to be in my future me is quite the same. My highest timeline is future me is so rooted in unconditional love and isn't worried. Like I struggle with anxiety. I'm diagnosed with 3 different kinds of anxiety, but like, so yeah, I'll always be worried, but like, I don't, I'm just, it doesn't faze me as much. Like, I'm not rattled as much. I'm really knowledgeable. I am very discerning. I'm very sovereign. And my energy is strong. Like I'm very much myself, even though I have learned a lot from so many different people and places and traditions, and I have been quite, like, I'm a super nerd. Like, I can tell that future Heidi has spent their life learning, and they're just a treasure trove of information, and they're very diligent to like share that with other people. That they don't keep that learning for themselves. If someone wants to learn from them, they'll teach them. But they do it in a way that's really aware of their own energy and their boundaries, and they make sure it works for themselves. They're great at counting their spoons, and they're very generous, but not in a way that hurts themselves or that is draining. And they're very much in the Six of Pentacles energy of like giving from a place of abundance, or the Six of Cups energy of like giving out lessons that they've learned, or even like the Six of Wands energy of victory. Yeah, why not the Six of Swords energy of like giving new perspectives on things? I mean, I feel like that's what teaching is about. Well, oftentimes it's just giving new perspectives on things. And hopefully the kind you always know you have a good teacher when they teach you a lot, but it doesn't feel really hard. It feels really easy to integrate, and that's how I want to teach. That's how I've been told I teach. So I want all of my students to have that experience. That's also why I give the offerings out. But if you have any comments, questions, feedbacks, you want to share your journey with me, or you have questions that came up in your journey, or you want me to do your ritual with you, hold space for you while you do it. I won't be able to go through the whole thing because it can take like an hour to do if you go deep, but if you want me to talk about it or do a mini one, we can talk through it. Just get a hold of me, tarottimeswithheidi@gmail.com. Say the name of the course, Baby Witch Workshop, the name of the video, which is your ritual about tapping into your path. And hopefully this, like the purpose of this ritual is really to give you clarity on like what to focus on. Like as a baby witch, it's so easy to be like, I want to be a yoga teacher and I want to do the advanced psychic development and I want to do tarot and astro and I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to, and you can do it all if you plan it out in 50 years. You know, you can really, you can do a lot. You can do a lot by the time you're old. So don't be afraid of making some goals and you can change them. Like no pressure if you're like you feel pressured by your own, like I want to get here by the time I want to be married and have kids by the time I'm 35. Like I'm not talking about giving yourself pressure. It's more about vision, you know? And because you can just check, you do this ritual more often, and you can just check in with your goals. And if you need to change those goals, you change those goals. Your life changes according to how you engage with it. And so certain goals might come faster because you're putting a lot of work into that area. And certain goals, you might be like, actually, I spent my time developing this area of myself and not this area of myself. So that means I got here slower. And that's totally your prerogative. Like that is your prerogative. You know, you're allowed to change your goals as you need. And but this is just meant as like a little journey just to give yourself vision and to really connect with that higher self that's like on your higher path, that's like old and wise and pulling you forward, showing you what to focus on, showing you what the next steps are. And just, yeah, connect in with that part of yourself as much as you can. You will benefit from it. Uh, and that's it. That's all I want. That's all I gotta say. I hope you have an awesome day and that this was helpful for you. Take care, everyone.